everyone! So today I'm here to do another DIY project. I want to do a DIY vanity tray that I can set on the corner of my dresser, and I could put a lot of the products that I use on a day-to-day basis. I know sometimes I'm in a hurry and I'll leave a lot of the products on my dresser and it looks messy, so I wanted to make something that could keep them all organized and also have easy access, so I don't have to go digging through my dresser or my closet. I could just grab it and then put it back and it'll look beautiful and neat. So I got this idea after I DIY'd some little containers to store my cotton swabs and cotton pads. So I made these out of candles. I upcycled some candles containers that I had lying around, and then I glued on these little knobs that you use for dressers. And I made these little containers so that I have easy access to my cotton pads when I wipe my face and also to my cotton swabs. So if you want to see how I make these cute little containers, I'll link below my YouTube video. You can also go to my channel and I'll have that on there as well. So things you're gonna need is you're gonna need some kind of plates or trays. So I got these different kinds of metal trays. You get different materials. So I also opted for some glass because I'm going to see which I prefer. So I have some glass dishes. The second thing you're gonna need are some candlesticks. So I got a couple of different sizes. You could choose different material depending on the material of your trays or plates. Just make sure they match. The third thing you're going to need is some glue. So I have this E6000 glue. You could use any glue or a glue gun, just depending on the material that you're using. And the fourth thing is optional. So if you want to add an extra little flair to your trays, you could get a little knob, and you could get different material, different varieties. So I got these little crystal knobs. I did see some floral knobs, some ceramic flowers. Those are also very cute. But because I wanted to use some metal trays so they can match my containers, I decided to use these crystal knobs that I had left over from my project. A lot of these items I got at a thrift store, so I got for less than $1. Some of them were 50 cents or 75 cents. So this is very economical project. So before you glue them, you just put them together and test it out. So I'm going to use some metal first. And when you use the candlestick, you are going to want to use the top part and reverse it, flip it over, because that way you have the smaller part facing down. If you put the base of the candlestick, you're not going to have as much space on your tray for your products. So make sure that you put the smaller side down, and that way you have more space, and then you're going to layer your dish or trays on top, and that looks beautiful. If you want to do that, then you're done. But if you want that extra added flair, you get the little knob right on top. I also wanted to try some of the glass dishware to see how it would look if it was in a glass. And then before you glue, just try out a few different varieties to see if it really is what you like. So I'm going to put this tray down and see how it looks if I reverse it. And the knob on top is optional. You don't need to put that if you want more space, but I like the way it looks. And then I could put things around it, and sometimes you could put your scrunchies on top. And I got a couple set of candles. Like this one's a little bit thicker and a little bit shorter. If I don't want something tall, this is what that looks like. I like the longer candlestick, but let's try it with the metal. And you can also make it 3-tiered. So if you really want it 3-tiered, you can. So I'll demonstrate. So you're gonna want to start with the larger plates, and I like it tiered. So if you start by going from a large tray to a smaller, it'll look very nice. Or you could use the same size. So I'm gonna see if I can do it 3-tiered. So I'll do this, and then you'll use a second candlestick. So you'll need 2 candlesticks and 3 plates. And then just depending on the height, it's gonna vary depending what you're gonna be doing. You can also use this as a cupcake stand. So if you want to use as a cupcake stand or a pastry stand, just buy bigger plates, and then you could do a 3-tiered stand, and it looks very beautiful. So once you decide which plates and candlesticks you are going to want to use, then you could glue it. I'm going to use my E6000 glue. You can use a glue stick. And I believe it's easier if you glue the top tray because then you can see where it is going. So I already tried to glue this and it didn't work out. So I'm going to glue it again. So I'm going to start with the top part, which is a thicker base. And you're going to put some glue all the way around it. Try not to put too much or too little because you don't want the glue to glue out. And then you're going to put just enough. You can measure the tray. I'm going to eyeball it and place it in the middle. So that looks like about the middle. And you're going to want to let this dry before you do the next step. It's just going to make it a lot easier and prevent the tray from moving. I let it set for about 20 to 30 minutes and that was enough to let the glue harden. Then I glued the candlestick to the bottom tray. I used the same glue and then I just eyeballed the middle and I pressed it down. And I just made sure that it was in the middle since the glue was still a little bit wet. I was able to move it a little bit. Finally, I added the knob to the top. The knob that I had was a little bit concave, so I had to fill it with more glue. And then I just added it to the middle. This plate had a design, so it was really easy to figure out what the middle was, and I pressed down. And then I had to let this set for another 20 to 30 minutes before it was ready, and this is the final result.